Good morning, students. Today, moving ahead with economics for class 11, we are studying microeconomics, chapter 3rd, that is consumers equilibrium and utility analysis. In prior part, that is 1 and 2, we have discussed various important concepts related to utility analysis, students. I have explained you what is utility, what is marginal utility, total utility, its graph and its assumptions along with the curve. Today we will move on with the revision also along with few of the numericals and another law. So moving ahead, students, this is an example saying this is a total utility schedule and you have to derive MU, that is marginal utility. Before solving this, I would like to give you a quick review of what is utility and another concepts so that you recall it and can do these sums. First thing that we understood was utility. It is the want satisfying power of a commodity. It is the want satisfying power of a commodity. When we have something, it has a utility. That is why we purchase it. Understand in this way. Another concept is your total utility. Total utility means sum of all the utilities, all the consumption of that commodity that we are using it, the utils that we are consuming it, when we add all those things, it becomes total utility. And total utility, with every consumption of a unit, it starts increasing. Another concept related to this is marginal utility. This says, with every additional unit that we are consuming, marginal utility will be declining, because when we consume anything in a continuous manner, its satisfaction level tends to decline. So we got with this two formulas to derive TU and MU, and we have a relation is formed. If you can recall it, in the prior part I have explained you these two graphs related to each other, that this was your TU and this is your MU, and this was the point of saturation. It says, this law says this is TU, this is MU, and here it is X, Y, this is the units we are consuming, we mark it here. This is your MU, this is your TU curve. And the derivation says that relationship, that when TU will increase still your MU is positive, TU will be stagnant or will be maximum when MU will be 0, and when TU starts declining, MU will be negative. So these were the characteristics, or you can say the relation that we have discussed with the TU and MU. Now moving ahead with their formulas and their how to calculate it. The very first numerical is your total utility schedule is given, and you have to derive MU. You have to derive marginal utility. Marginal utility's formula is MUN, that is MU is TUN minus TUN minus 1. Alright, next to 1. So at a very first note, when no commodity is being consumed, then total utility is also 0. So there would be, MU would be nothing. It would be infinite. Next, when one commodity is consumed and total utility is 15, at this note, when we calculate this, then TUN, this one, TUN minus 1 is this. That means 15 minus 0 would be 15. Next one, 28. Second unit, TU is 28. So TUN is 28 and TUN minus 1 is 15. Here it comes 13. At the second one, third one, TU is 40 consumed and total utility n minus 1 is 28. It says 12. Again, it is 51 minus a prior one 40, that is your 11. Then last is at the fifth commodity consumed, TU is 61 minus 51, it is 10. So you can easily now do it as the formula says TUN minus TUN minus 1. TUN is the first one, a prior one would be deducted from it. A very simple formula through which you can calculate your marginal utility. Now we come on to the second question, which says calculate marginal utility schedule, and that is considering this schedule you have to calculate TU. Okay. Now TU is the students, it says it's the summation of marginal utility. It's the addition of marginal utility. Here units consumed are given and MU is being given. You have to calculate the total utility. You can also say it that it is a cumulative addition also. So taking consideration at the very first unit, and we can say that at a 0 there was no consumption. So at that time we will say no. Then when first commodity is consumed, MU is 16. So TU remains 16. Next is at the second commodity consumed, TU will calculate it. MU is 15. So 16 plus 15 equals to 31. Now at the third unit consumed, same unit will be consumed. 3 units when are consumed, our marginal utility is 13. So 31 plus 13, it gives you 44. Moving ahead, another one, that is fourth commodity is consumed. 4 units are consumed of commodity X. It is 10. So it would be 44 plus 10 equals to 54. Now when 5 units of a X commodity is being consumed, then MU is 6. So here TU would be 54 plus 6, that is 60. And lastly, at the 6 units consumed of X commodity, MU is 1. So 60 plus 1 equals to 61. So you can see that it is the cumulative of all the MU. It is summation of the marginal utility. I suppose you will now be able to calculate marginal utility and total utility very easily. Now moving ahead on another concept and another law, that is law of diminishing marginal utility. Students, it is as similar as I have explained you marginal utility. I have told you at a prior note, when we consume a thing, its satisfaction level tends to decline with every additional unit of this. If you remember, I gave you an example of a glass of water. When you are too thirsty, when you have a glass of water, you get a maximum satisfaction. And when another glass of water is being consumed, its satisfaction level will be little less. At the third, more, it will decline. At the fourth one, it will be 0. At the fifth one, it will become negative. So with this concept only, law of diminishing utility, marginal utility, this law prevails. It's a fundamental law and it is applicable to all goods and services, to all the commodities. So here it says, and I will make you relate and understand with this schedule also, please pay attention. It says it is a fundamental law applicable to all goods and services it states that as more and more units of a commodity are consumed, more and more, again I am repeating, more and more units of a commodity are consumed, mu derived from every additional unit must decline. You can easily verify this from this. What is there? We are increasing the commodities X consumption. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 commodity X is being consumed, and first time when we had this commodity, our marginal utility was 16. At the second unit, we came to get marginal utility 15. And you can see this pattern that with every additional unit, our marginal utility is declining. But when you see to the total utility, it is increasing. 16, 31, 44, 54, 60, 61. So here it shows the clear relationship that if mu is declining, total utility will increase. Understood? Here it says with every additional unit, we are talking about the mu will decline. Hence it says that law of diminishing marginal utility is proved, which says that mu derived from every additional unit must decline. It will decline. With every unit that we consume of any of the commodity, the satisfaction cannot be same. Other than that, it is also called as fundamental psychological law because it is a psychological thing. It is related to the human nature. But as every law has its own assumptions, this law has also. The two basic assumptions are there that only standard units of a commodity to consume. That is like a cup of tea. Standard unit says that you can measure, that you can define. Not if I say a spoon of tea, intake of a spoon of tea, would that be comfortable? Can we explain anything out of it? No. So a standard unit that can be measured and that can be explained has to be intake. Other than that, the consumption of the commodity is continuous. It has to be in a continuous form. It should not be like that today I am having a glass of water and tomorrow again. It cannot be compared. And one more thing to be added, that the commodity that we are consuming should be same. We cannot compare, we cannot have the satisfaction level same within taking a glass of water also, and at a similar time we are having a glass of milk or a glass of cold drink. Both the commodities are different. So the satisfaction derived with both the commodities are also different. So it has to be same, it has to be continuous, and it has to be in a standard unit. I suppose this law is clear. So we'll take a pause for today with this. In another part, we'll discuss more of few important concepts related to this chapter. Till then, thank you.